but let's not waste any more time. It's 104 in the East. I just want to ask you guys, start with a question here. Did you ever notice a lot of marketing experts at conferences, on YouTube, and even here in webinars will tell you why video is important, but their actual advice on how to execute video is spotty. It's not always that great. These are challenging. This is a challenging scenario because frankly, we've got a big gap in the why and the how. And honestly, it's not that tough to understand why, okay? Why is video important? Well, we know more than 157%. That's the organic traffic bump for video, for websites that use video, okay? 4x on the number of inquiries for your listings that use video, okay? Nearly 3/4 of homeowners say they'd prefer to work with a realtor who uses video. The why is pretty compelling here. The how, on the other hand, is actually pretty hard. How do we do this? Well, you need the right gear. You need to know what to make, the right content. You need to know how to do it. That's what we call a workflow. And you need to know what to do with it afterwards. That's the sharing. And this is what we're shooting for here, guys. This is the product of this session. This is what you're going to get out of this. In this webinar, we're going to give you the hard stuff, all that stuff that other people don't have a great answer for. We're going to make it feel easy for you, and we're going to get you more listings, guaranteed. And I know some of you guys kind of sat forward in your chair here. Guarantee, that's a big word, and I'll tell you about what that means in a little bit here. So here's what we're going to get out of today's webinar. You're going to get a workflow that you can use to help take your videos from idea to lead producing content. You're going to get a list of 10 videos that you can use to get started in the real estate video space. You're going to get a strategy guide that you can use and share with your team for making content. And we're going to give you a suggestion on a tool that you can use, one that guarantees you more listings. Again, the guarantee word. I know it's big. But before we get to all that, let's just do a couple of brief housekeeping duties. First of all, hello. If you don't know who I am, I'm so glad that you're here. I'm Chris. My name is Chris Linsell. I'm a senior real estate writer, technology analyst, and real estate coach for theclose.com. If you haven't visited theclose.com, honestly, what are you doing? You got to come visit us at The Close. The Close is the best source for real estate advice, strategy. We have all the tools and the workflows and the paths that you need to level up your real estate game. It's a free space, www.theclose.com. I'm there every day. You should be there every day. You can follow me on social. Really excited for you to connect with me. People argue with me on Twitter every day. Come argue with me. Come connect with me on LinkedIn. But I'm not alone in the hosting duties here. I have an intrepid co-host, one who you're probably going to want to hear more from here. His name is Grant. Grant, will you say hello to everybody here? Let me have a drink of my soda water here. Let's hear a little bit from you. Who are you, Grant?
Good morning, everyone. To everyone on the West Coast, afternoon if you're on the East Coast. I'm on the West Coast, which I think is the best coast for all those people out there. My name is Grant Finley-Shiras. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Parkbench, and have just been working with realtors for 10 years now, helping them build their business, and over the last few years, excel with video. So I'm excited to share some of my best practices and lessons learned. I think on the earlier slide, I wanted to say I spent $70,000 in video equipment for myself to do video, only to realize it's not necessary. So we're going to give you some lessons learned that will save you some money and save you some time, because video really is important in today's age.
Grant, I saw your note on that, and honestly, I thought it was a typo, which is why I didn't mention it.
Not a typo.
You spent $70K on this?
Because I was like, okay, I want to do video, make the commitment, and I just, got stupid and made some unnecessary investments.
Yeah, for sure. Well, so if you hear something, guys, if you hear something today that you think was just too crazy to be true, or it might have been a typo, feel free to drop us some questions in the chat, okay? We want to hear from you. This is not a one-way communication tool. This is a conversation. Because of the nature of how we're operating, there's over hundreds of people that are live or interacting after the fact here. We can't get every question in real time, but our team is working on making sure that we get all of the questions that we can answer towards the end here. So if you've got questions, get them in the chat. Can't wait to talk to you guys about it. So as we're getting into video marketing, I just want to start with a little bit of kind of top level knowledge. I call this the 30,000 foot view. Real estate marketing video 101. Why does this work? Well, successful real estate video marketing and marketing as a whole consistently demonstrates your knowledge, skills, and experience. Video is really great at hitting these three things: our knowledge, our skills, and experience. Now, Grant, can you give us maybe some backup on this? I mean, this isn't just something we're pulling out of the air here. Is there any objective like stats or anything that we can use to kind of support that these three things are pretty important when it comes to video marketing?
There's a lot of stats that are just proving that video is the best way to engage your potential clients. I think we just need to look at ourselves. How do you learn about things? How do you develop trust? How do you believe someone? In this world of filters and editing things, video really creates a lot of truth, because it's hard to lie when the camera and the thing is recording and it's live and it's real and you can't quite edit everything out. So that's why videos become so effective. And 85% of agents that we've seen do video gets more leads, they get more clients, it benefits them. YouTube is people spend the most time on YouTube than any other platform. Just that statistic I thought was because it's basically our TV, it's our radio now as well. And so if people are spending so much time there, you want to be in front of them. And there's lots more stats, but I think those are some of the biggest ones that it is working for agents, and it's where people's attention is. So you want to do it. And then we as consumers know we believe video over every other format. It helps us trust someone.
It's totally true. It's totally true. In fact, I saw something in the chat that I just wanted to call out here to kind of support what you were saying. Steve mentioned that personal outreach through text message to contacts, another great way of making sure we're identifying ways to demonstrate our knowledge and our skills and our experience. And I agree, Steve, like that's a strategy I use and I use with my team all the time. It's just one that is a challenge to scale. I only have so many thumbs. I can't type as many text messages as I want. So I like to use that in conjunction with some of these broader tools like video. So we know why real estate video is important. That's the easy part. Let's get in a little bit to the how. This real estate video marketing workflow, if anybody's taking notes here right now, this is a time that you might want to scratch a couple of things down. And don't worry, we're recording this, so you're going to have this to refer to. But I want you guys to think about these 5 steps, because we're going to talk about these. The real power of video is in our ability to consistently produce content that is going to connect with our audience on a regular basis. But in order to do that, we got to have a workflow that we can execute every day, every week, every month in order to get that content out the door. So if you're not familiar with this term workflow, don't worry. This is just a video marketing term that we use to talk about getting video from idea into something that's producing you leads. Let's talk a little bit about this workflow. The first step in the workflow is the plan. Okay, this seems pretty basic. Just putting on paper what your video's core components are with your goals in mind. Seems pretty basic. But not everybody's got this. Here's some of these core components. Let me just kind of run through these really quick. What do you want your video to say? Where are you going to shoot it? What are you demonstrating? Is this a knowledge, skills, experience video? Who the audience is? What do you want these people to do when they see your video? These are pretty basic core components, but not everybody has got this figured out. In fact, let's look at some bad planning. Tell me, I want to hear in the chat if this is anything that that resonates with anybody. Has this ever been your planning? I'm just gonna, make a video about the best parks in my city. People will love that. I'm just gonna drive around, I'm gonna look for pretty parks. We can film me, saying something, and then we'll just post it to Facebook. Grant knows a little bit about this because he's done this one, okay? This is bad planning, guys. This is good planning. We're looking at our message. We're looking at our location. Vanessa knows about this one. She just did this one last week. Are we planning effectively? Guys, are you planning effectively? Are you giving your message and your location and your knowledge and your audience and your desired outcome and your timeline? Are you giving these things thought before you're hitting record on the video? Chances are you're not giving it the thought that it deserves. Planning is the foundation for successful video. And in fact, one of the things you guys are going to get as a part of this webinar is this planning outline that you can use over and over in order to make sure your videos have the foundation they need to be successful. Now, I want to talk, though, for a second, before we go too far forward here. I want to jump back because I missed an opportunity to ask Grant. Grant, when it comes to these core video components, why do you think that most people aren't taking some time, even if it's just 10 minutes, to just sit down with a piece of paper and write these things down? Why aren't people affected, in your experience, as somebody who's done video and is coaching people on video, what is it that people are missing about planning that makes this such a hard step?
Like some people in the chat, I've done this. I've done bad planning. And when we work with clients, we see them do it too. And so we take a step back and we see, why do I do it? Why are they doing it? And we found one of my favorite phrases in business: if you lack action on anything, which in this case is planning, you actually probably lack a vision for the reason to plan. So number one, as I see, people don't have like the knowledge of the benefits of planning. If you don't understand the benefits of planning, then you won't do it.
Yeah.
And then the next thing is, if you don't have a system for the planning in terms of what to do, then you won't do it. And then when you start planning, you're not going to be as fast as you will be when you've done it 10, 20, 30 times. And then some people, when they see how long it takes the first time, they get demotivated and maybe lose sight of the fact that it won't take as long in the future. One of the analogies we give to people to help hammer this home is like, think about health. If you don't understand the benefits of eating less sugar, carbs, or dairy, or whatever the plan is, then you just won't do it. And let's say you read an article or a book, and now I'm like, okay, I understand. This is what I need to do. But how do I do it? If you don't have the how in front of you, you're not going to take action and go to the gym and go to the grocery store and buy the right things. And then let's say you even get your gym membership, you get the groceries, but then you're like, oh my God, how do I make this? How do I make good food? How do I actually do this exercise? If you don't know the tricks of the trade, then you spend so long trying, and then you get demotivated and you don't do it. So the same goes for video planning. There really is benefits to it. You just need a checklist of things to do. Then you need to practice and do it over and over again, because it will actually save you time. A common situation we see is agents don't plan and prepare the lighting, the audio, the way they're going to film it, and then they just turn it on, press record, spend time doing a video, and then after realize, oh my goodness, I messed up a bunch of things because I didn't plan and prepare. And now I either got to redo it, which takes more time, or I need to do all this crazy editing, which takes time. And so planning will save you time, and then it'll get you the result you're looking for. That's the point of planning, to get you the result you're looking for in less time. So just do it, and we'll help you today with a template to do it.
100%. Yeah. Guys, it's shocking to me how frustrating and how frustrated people get with the planning process. But I think Grant hit the nail on the head here. I know for me, my planning has gotten better the more I've done it. And I bet you guys can resonate with this too. Think about the first time you ever took a brand new listing. I bet you it took you hours to get the listing description just right and all the details entered into your MLS and to organize all the contracts. I bet you your 20th listing or your 50th listing, or for those of you who have been rocking, like I saw in the chat, for 36 or 63 years, I bet you it takes you a heck of a lot less time now because you know the process. Same goes for this. But we're not done with planning. Step 2 here is to shoot. And this one we're going to move a little bit quicker through because it's pretty straightforward, but it's still important. Shooting is just lights, camera, action. It's actually capturing the footage. This is the part that gives a lot of people anxiety by being in front of the camera, but the more you do it, the easier it gets. What do most people get wrong about shooting? Well, this is really just understanding the fundamentals here. Maybe they're using the wrong camera. Maybe they don't have the audio set right. Maybe they don't have any lights on. Maybe they're not using the right angles here. There are plenty of examples of bad real estate video on the internet. I'm not going to embarrass anybody because I've been there. Grant's been there. You guys have probably seen yourself on video and maybe cringed for a minute because you weren't super excited with the results you got here. Grant, I called out 4 things here that are generally hurdles for people when it comes to actually shooting video. What would you say out of this list? What would you say is like the top one that most people get wrong when they're actually shooting video?
Well, on this list,
Yeah.
I would probably say the audio. I think
man,
people
I agree.
undervalue the audio, but when I thought of when I think about like the biggest mistake, there's this like thought of, I can edit that. Don't worry, we can edit that. And it's like, no, you maybe you can't. 2, you don't want to spend time doing that editing. And 3, if you just plan and prepare and have the right audio, the right lighting, you have the right equipment, so it's not shaky footage, you figure out the angle of how you want to film it, then you will do a good job. And then the final one, which is that I see not on this list that I've coached myself on, I had to learn to do this, was to look at the dot on the camera and to slow down when you speak. I mean, I think I already have spoken maybe a little bit too fast, and I apologize, everyone, but I think we all do.
Yeah.
And when you do video, you sometimes need to slow down so that the person can get your message. And so do a test, do a plan, visualize the end goal, then do it.
Yeah. Tiffany asked about recommendations for cameras and microphones. We're definitely going to get there, Tiffany. I saw that one. That's important. Here's an example of bad shooting. There's a techie guy in my office who said I could use his camera, make a video. I don't really know how to use it, but it's supposed to be good. So let's just go to that park. I'll walk around. You can follow with the camera. I'm sure it's going to work out. That's bad shooting. That was a video I made. I think maybe I used this specific, the reason this is on the screen is I remember making this when I was like in my first year of real estate. But here's some good shooting. Camera. Tiffany, to your question, use your cell phone. Guys, your cell phone is like the best camera for the money, like the dollar to camera ratio that you can buy.
Yes.
It is absolutely, and you've already got it in your pocket. Use your cell phone. Audio, we've got some recommendations on lapel microphones, something you can clip right to your shirt. You can get them from Amazon. They work with your phone. It's less than $60. Lighting, angles, these are all the things that are a part of appropriate and positive shooting. You guys, we're going to give you the guide on how to take care of all this, but making sure that you understand that shooting is the natural extension of planning, right? Like there's a reason that these things fall in this order. First, we make the plan, then we go execute that plan, right? Like, what do we want from this video? Okay, let's go gather the material that's going to enable that. Okay, this is not a fly by the seat of our pants strategy. It is a, we've made a plan, now let's go knock out those first couple of steps. But we're only halfway there. This step, editing, if people feel nervous about being in front of the camera, editing is where they throw their hands up to say, well, I don't know what to do here. It's not that I feel uncomfortable behind my computer, I just don't know what to press. Editing is when we're actually taking the content that we've captured and packaging it into a final product. This is a really important step that I feel like a lot of agents actually just skip altogether, and that's a problem. What is it that people are getting wrong about it? Well, I think I just said it. They're skipping it, they're not doing it, or they're trying to do too much of it. Grant, you've done enough video on your own and coached enough agents on video to know that I guess I have this feeling that most agents, the ones that I touch, actually underestimate the importance of editing. Would you say, is that true or false for you? Do you think that most people get a grasp of this, or most people are underestimating how important this is?
Big picture, yeah, that's totally true. If I had to say, like, do you underestimate the importance of it? Yes. Now, I actually feel that agents, when they get into video, it actually kind of goes in two directions, where on the one hand, the person thinks, okay, editing takes such a long time, and so I don't want to do it. And it does. And when you know the basics and fundamentals, it doesn't take a long time. And then the other person thinks it doesn't take any time, and therefore doesn't do it, or doesn't get into it, or doesn't put an importance on it because they think it's just super easy. And it's like, well, you know, there is a process, there is a software you probably got to use, so you need to learn how to do it. And then the next decision, fork in the road, is, do I need to edit this video one way or the other way? Some videos don't require a lot of editing. There's the fundamentals, the basics, to put an intro, outro, and maybe some watermarks and some logos. But some agents want to over edit. And then other agents, they see videos out there on the internet done by like professional videographers, which we have to realize, okay, what are we going to do with our video to get results versus what's out there? And then it's kind of the eyes are bigger than your stomach problem in this world, which you have this vision for the video that just overcomplicates it. And it doesn't actually add value to your business. And the vision you have requires so much editing that it just takes way too much time, or you got to pay a lot of money to hire a professional to do it. So first is, you do need to do editing. The next question is how to film it to make it easier, and then have a system to doing it so that you don't get demotivated by it, or it's not that expensive to hire someone to do it.
Yeah, I agree completely. Actually, you know, that's one of the things that's on this list too, is there is some editing that frankly is beyond some of our technical reach, for me, for sure. And so when in doubt, outsource to if you have that opportunity. I saw in the chat a couple of questions that I think I can answer really quickly as far as editing software suggestions. You know, there's a whole bunch out there, but when in doubt, start with what you have right at your fingertips. If you're, for instance, if you're a Mac user and you want a really quick editing solution, iMovie is free. It's right on your computer, and it's something that will get the job done for a lot of agents. There are lots of tools out there. That's one I just want to call out right away because it's a native program on Apple products. You can even edit from your phone or from your iPad. That is on there. Those are things that I suggest to agents if you're looking for a free and immediate solution. And when it comes to other opportunities for editing upgrades, we've got a couple of solutions on that coming up here. So hold that question. I want to give you guys a chance to see that in just a minute. So we've got here's an example of some bad editing. Okay, just pull up the video we shot, cut off the end, where I was goofing around at the end. I might have messed up something in the middle. Nobody's gonna care about that. And then we'll just, I guess, put my phone number in the Facebook caption. This is what I like to call the hourly assistant version of bad editing. This is somebody who's like, they don't really care about the end result. They just want to check something off the list. Don't be that person, okay? Don't let your hourly assistant be that person, and don't you be that person. If you're going to do this, do it right. Here's some advice or some examples of good editing, okay? Don't use your cell phone. It was built for capturing video, not editing it. Now, iMovie is something you could use on your phone, but if you can, use something that's actually designed for it, right? Use some tools, okay, that are designed for video editing. Use some planning. We planned before. Remember back in step 1, use those plans. And then outsource where you are not strong, okay? Places like Fiverr or Upwork are packed full of video editors who will do video editing on small real estate editing or real estate video projects for literally $5. This is something that you can get done in a couple of days for $5. Now, you have to do a little investigative work on that, but it's available. You don't have to do the stuff that you don't know how, and we can teach you a little bit too. Step 4. Can you believe it? We've made it through. We've actually got a video. We planned our video. That was step 1. We shot our video. That was step 2. We edited our video. That was step 3. Now we're into step 4, which is sharing the video. Once it's complete, you got to get it to your audience. Now you'll have to take a close look on this slide. I said you got to get it to your target audience. It's important who you share your video with. If you're sharing it with people who don't care about your message, what's the point? You've got to get it to the people who the message is intended for. So I've got some thoughts about what most people do wrong when it comes to sharing. Like I was saying before, they're not sharing with their target audience in mind. But Grant, I want to make sure we get your voice in here too. In your experience, how important is the other stuff when it comes to sharing video? We normally share video on platforms like Facebook and YouTube or Instagram. Is it enough to just kind of throw the video up there and hope for the best? Or is there kind of a strategy, like a best practice strategy when it comes to sharing video that you think people would benefit from?
Wait, so you're saying that if I don't just build a video and post it, they will just come and watch and like and comment and share and engage with me?
Unless you are Kim Kardashian,
I mean,
probably not, frankly.
This is that is I wanted to say that because hopefully everyone was like, yeah, what a dumb phrase, Grant. Because that is what some people come to us and they say, and it's that, feel their dreams mentality, build it and they will come, which is just not true. And when you create content, it doesn't mean someone's going to watch it. You have to look at the platform you posted on, and text is actually on most platforms the first thing that they will see. So I'm going to go over in a sec some elements of a great post. On platforms like Instagram, okay, you've got an image or a thumbnail that's going to be the first thing, but then people are still going to look at the first 1 or 2 lines of your post to get a sense of whether this thing is for them, and then either watch it or not. So you have to have copy to grab people's attention and to keep their attention, and then to get them to take action, because those are the 3 things: grab attention, keep attention, get people to take action. Okay, so the elements I wanted to share with you guys on what to do for a post is you need a hook. Okay, that gets people to stop scrolling, and usually like bold statements and shocking stats and questions, thought-provoking questions are a good way to do this. Then you want to use a story to make the person feel that this video and this post is for them. So, scenarios that you or your clients have gone through where you're talking about wants and needs and problems and goals that the person reading it also has. The goal is to make them think, oh, wow, this post is for me. This video is for me. This is going to help me. I need to engage with this. And then at the end of the post, you're trying to give them an insight or an epiphany that they go, you're right. And that leads them to the call to action, where it could be like, comment, share, email me, call me, ask me this question, do this thing, and make sure that call to action is one thing, one call to action at a time. If you try to get your audience to do more than one action, they'll do nothing. So think about that for the post, and just remember to tag people. If there's people that you can tag them. If there's hashtags you can put them in. Make a checklist of the things that you need to do to make a great post. And I'll leave you with things that have really helped me, and therefore help my clients who I teach them this stuff, is do a little bit of studying of copywriting. Copywriting you need for your listings when you make a description. Copywriting is a very important part in today's world. And here's 2 good books. I'll put in the chat. One's Made to Stick from Chip and Dan Heath. The other one is Copywriting Secrets by Jim Edwards. These are 2 intro books into copywriting. And the cool thing is, I'm not a writer. I failed English. And that's okay, because you don't need to write great posts. You need to assemble a great post. And when you learn a checklist of things to do, you're just putting pieces together to make sure it ranks in the search engines, to make sure people stop and watch.
Yeah, 100%. And I threw up, while you were talking, Grant, I threw up some examples of elements of good sharing. For anyone who's wants to watch this recording later on, you've got a couple other things here that can give you some tips on the post. Also, Becky, would you mind? Becky is one of our closed team members here. Would you mind grabbing the link? We have a real estate copywriting article over on theclose.com. That would be a good one to drop in the chat as well if you want a little bit of close knowledge on that subject. We've got a whole article about copywriting as well. But I love that. Made to Stick is a great book. If anybody is looking for a book that will help them level up their writing in their marketing, that is one I recommend too. So we've done, we don't want to get too far ahead here. We've done the first 4 steps. We're coming around the corner into the final, the home stretch here, which is to engage. We've planned, we've shot, we've edited, we've shared, and now what do we do? And frankly, I'm excited to hear what Grant has to say here. This is where I eat. This is kind of where I made kind of my name as a real estate professional and as a coach over on the Close, is what happens after? What do we do with the conversations that are generated? So I want to share a couple of things here. This is pretty straightforward on what people get wrong. They don't do it. Okay, engagement is something, it seems totally it doesn't, there's no congruence here. It makes no sense. Why wouldn't we engage with people? And I suspect that most people don't understand what engagement actually means. They're waiting for someone to call them and say, hey, I saw your video. Would you come over tomorrow and list my house, please? That's not engagement. Engagement is creating an opportunity for us to connect with the audience and to move them into our lead funnel. So, Grant, I'd love to hear from you. Do you have any engagement success stories? Okay, what can you? I talk to a lot of people who are they don't know how, or maybe they're unsure or nervous about interacting with people on social media because they don't really know what to say. You're obviously an expert. Give us all of your engagement success stories. Build up our confidence a little bit. You can do that, right?
Yeah, well, I'll just first say, like, the issue with engagement, kind of like follow-up, kind of like, sales and prospecting, which is just, it's the most important thing. Engagement and follow-up and sales is the most important thing for our businesses, for your business. And it just comes down to knowing what to say. Everyone, I think, has the ability. It's just maybe they are missing the script. There are better scripts. And therefore, when you have the scripts, it makes it really easy because you won't get rejected. You will get engagement with the right scripts. You will get a positive response. You will make people feel good. You won't be salesy, cheesy, pushy. With the right scripts, you will make people feel good. You will make people want to talk to you. And we have a bunch of examples. I'll share a couple that I think people can relate to. Is, we had a client in Colorado Springs, and she was struggling to get appointments. So she reached out to her success coach with us, and we gave her a Facebook Messenger system, because Facebook Messenger is a great way to connect with people because that's the platform that people spend a lot of time on. And then in our session with them, we gave her the script and said, "You're not leaving. Let's do it right now." And then she started reaching out with us, in our coaching session, and she got 6 appointments the following week. You follow a plan, you get a result. We told an agent they should interview home service professionals, because what do people do before they sell their house? They fix their home up. And one of the pieces of content is to go interview a home service professional. And they went to a lawn care company because people fix up, the front of the house to make it look good. And then we gave them a checklist of how to get more views, likes, comments, and shares from the post. And then once you get the views, likes, comments, and shares, what to now DM the person. And then lo and behold, one of the people who saw the video now is listing their house with them. And we've had other stories of people who those are like one example. I wanted to share. One of our clients has been with us, I think 3-4 years, because when you're creating lots of content consistently, the waterfall starts to happen, where you start getting come list me calls and can you help me buy a home calls and texts. Because when people see you emailing them and posting content in their social media over and over and over again, they're like, this person is the expert of my area, because you should all be creating local content around the area you want to do business in. And when they believe you are a local market expert, they trust you more, and then they want to call you versus everyone else who's just not doing it. So get started if you're not, and make a commitment to be consistent. You can get results quickly. I've had clients who say, all right, I'm going to get to video now. And then within 3 months, they've posted literally a handful of videos, and they're amazed at how many people have watched them and how much time people have spent engaging with their video and their brand. And then they get leads from it. So if you do it properly, you can get leads and clients within weeks and months. And the real transformation in your business will happen when you do it for years.
Yeah, I agree. And that consistency starts with first executing the workflow, plan, shoot, edit, share, engage, and then combining it with great content. So to get you guys started with the great content, we've got a list of 10 foolproof real estate videos. These are ones that I've made personally for my team and for my content. These are ones that have generated leads. These are ones that Grant's team has put together. They successfully demonstrate your knowledge, your skills, or your experience, or a combination thereof. You guys are going to get, as a part of this webinar, a short sheet with all of these, but here's some examples of the 10 real estate videos. Here are some that you can use to show off your knowledge. X number of things to know about this neighborhood, whatever the neighborhood you're targeting is. These sorts of videos, like the top neighborhoods in your community and the cost of living in whatever market you're serving. These are videos that help demonstrate your knowledge, okay? You're going to get a short sheet with all these, but I'm just going to go through a handful of these here. Here's some videos that'll show off your skills, okay? the X number of worst mistakes first-time home sellers can make and how to avoid them. You guys know this stuff. You've got this knowledge. You've got the skills to help people prevent making these mistakes. This is some content you can create to demonstrate those skills. Here's some videos to help you knock out your experience points here. X lessons I've learned as a real estate agent. Some buyer testimonial videos, some seller testimonial videos. Guys, this is 10 videos right here. And again, I said you're going to get a PDF with all of these, with a little bit of info on each of them. So you don't have to write these all down right now or watch the recording. You'll get the PDF. Becky, if you can drop the PDF or the link in the chat, that would be great, in case people want to get this right away. But we have this available for you guys. And then as far as as far as your question about the best length of these videos, that's going to depend a little bit on the type of content. I try to think about my platform. Like if I'm going to be posting these videos on, say, TikTok, as an example, if anyone's active there, there are definitely going to be different length standards there than there are going to be on, say, YouTube or Facebook or Instagram. Generally speaking, I try to err on the side of brevity, being a little bit briefer. I know it's ironic considering how much I actually talk, but when it comes to video content, briefer is better. If you can stay under 5 minutes, under 3 minutes, those are definitely numbers that really will help your views and engagement. But you know, the quality is going to come first. So if you've got really great quality and you need 6 or 7 minutes to tell that story, it's going to be better than telling a crappy story in only 2 minutes.
Yeah, can I just make an initial comment and add on to this? So I spoke with Dan Locke one time and asked him that very question. And he said, everything that you're saying, it's very platform specific. When it comes to YouTube, the algorithm is that YouTube wants to make money. Here's the thing to think about. All these platforms want to make money. They want to reward the creators that keep people on the platform. Mm-hmm. They make more money if you can keep people on there longer. So the longer videos on YouTube do better for him to show up in the search discovery and algorithms, because YouTube goes, if you create longer content, people spend more time with you and we will make more money as YouTube. So we are going to promote you. And so I tell clients, don't think about length, think about quality. And if it's longer but good quality, that's wonderful. If it's short and good quality, that's wonderful too, because you don't want to fit a square peg through a round hole. You just want to create great quality content. Absolutely. And on some platforms like TikTok and Instagram, like, okay, it's going to be shorter.
Yeah. So I think where I'm coming around here, guys, is that you've got the workflow, you know how to make them. You've got 10 videos to get you started in terms of the content. But what if there's a number of what ifs? What if you're not confident in any of these steps? What if you are not totally sure that you can execute those video ideas that you got? Well, there's an answer to those questions. And there's an answer to that, oh, by the way, what about that guarantee we mentioned? And this is where I want to partner with Grant a little bit to tell you guys a little bit about a new course that Parkbench has called the Local Leader Video Marketing Mastery course. Now, this is a pretty cool thing. I've done a deep dive walkthrough. This is totally objective. I wasn't being paid to give a particular rating. I went through this course top to bottom and wrote an entire article about it on the close. Becky, if you can drop the link to that in the chat, if people want to read this article, You can get my honest assessment, including kind of some of my my individual thoughts on the course itself. And this course has got a lot of stuff in there that are going to help you answer some of those why or what if questions. Tons of training, okay? Mini courses on equipment and camera presence and script writing and camera gear. I mean, it goes on and on. Detailed tutorials, live weekly webinars, video recipes. Now, Grant, I want to make sure we get through this section in enough time to answer questions for people, but can you just tell us a little bit? I think the video recipes here are so cool. Can you give us just a little bit of a background on what a video recipe is so people know what they're getting when it comes to this?
Yeah, just think about all the steps that you need to do a video. The reason why we created this was because I couldn't find a solution out there to tell my clients to go to that had all the steps. Everything was always missing something. And so a recipe's got, okay, here's the end product. So you know what you're trying to create. Now let's decode it. Step one is the script. Here's what the script was for this video, and here's the framework that wrote the script, because you're not going to say the same words as this video. You're going to make your own version for you and for your market and for your business. So here's the framework on how to fill in the blanks and write it. Then how was this video filmed? Here's how to film it. Here's where to put the camera. Here's where to put the lights. Here's what audio you will need. So now you know how to film the video, and then you go film it. And at the end, we say, okay, now that you've got the script and the footage, here's how to edit it. And so, because if you end up with, like cooking, you end up with something in the same way that the cook was in the cookbook, okay, you now know this is the next step to do. So here's this footage you have. If you filmed it in this way, here's how to edit it quickly and easily. On these, we use Filmora because Mac and PC can both use it. And so we teach on that. Here's how to edit it. And then once you have the video, again, if we build it, that doesn't mean people will watch it. Here's how to post it. Here's how to write a post for this to make people stop and hook them in and call to action. And then once you get the likes, comments, and shares, because it's not over. If you want to get clients from video, you can't just post videos. You got to engage the people who then do the video. And so that's the final step is here's the DMs to now send people who like, comment, and share on this video to start conversation that leads to real estate, that leads to sales.
So I want to just make sure that everyone heard that last part, because frankly, this is the part that kind of blew me away when I was reviewing this course. There's literally, I think close to like 40 plus video recipes. Mm-hmm. Each one has instructions on like scripts for direct messaging and comments and how to interact with people after you post this video. Each one has a script template that you can use, that you literally can fill in your name, fill in your community, gives you tips on how to actually write. The video recipes on this course really were game changers for me, because I've genuinely never heard of another course that provides this level of detailed instruction. But you don't just get the online content. There's also, Grant, is this right? That you also get like all this actual gear too?
Yeah, because we want to make sure everyone films it the way we filmed it. So we didn't buy some crazy video camera equipment because we know most agents don't have that. We're going to come out with an upgraded advanced video course if people want to get into crazy multi-camera angles and all that stuff. But we know that video can get you leads and get you clients and build your brand. If you just have a phone, you just have a tripod, you have this mic. And so we use the equipment that if you work with us, we will send you the same equipment that we use to make the video so that everyone's on the same page, and it makes the process simple. Simplicity is the key to execution. We want to make sure that we don't, lose an agent because they are missing a piece of the puzzle, which is what we found when we researched other solutions. There was pieces of the puzzle missing that just made agents go, I still don't quite get it, so I'm not doing it.
So you get the digital content, you actually get physical gear here, but there is a guarantee for this course too. And this is one, honestly, I don't know how much we need to say about it, frankly, but is this right, Grant? Am I understanding this right? If you follow this course's calendar and instruction consistently, Parkbench guarantees 5x ROI on your investment in the course. Is that right?
Yeah, like video helps when done the right way, will help you get clients, period, end of story. It's happening for agents out there. It just may not be happening for you. And it's not because video doesn't work. It's because you may not be doing video the right way. And when I learn business, it's always there's certain things done a certain way, get a certain result. And I'm always looking for that repeatable blueprint.
Yeah.
So we have been doing this for 10 years, focusing on how agents can get clients using video. And once we created the first version of this course, we beta tested with our clients. They all got results when they followed the blueprint. And so we said, great, how can we now separate ourselves to tell agents, if you want to do video, you're gonna have to make an investment somehow, either pain, and grief and trial and error, or you make the investment to work with us and work with our coaches and work with our systems. And we guarantee if you follow the system, you'll get clients, or I give it all back. Because that's the point of doing video, to get clients.
So to get access to the course is usually for the annual access is $6,000. If you're here at the webinar, $4,000. We're given a 33% discount. If you book a demo, unlock the all access pass here. We've got the demo link here in the chat. So go ahead and if you're interested, you can book a demo here, guys. But I'm going to be honest with you. Adam, I'm the same as you. I have natural skepticism about things. So I want to know, guys, what questions do you have about this? About the course? I think people are probably going to have some questions about the course, but about the video process in general, about gear, about content. Now is the time. And I know we're kind of bumping up on time right now. That's okay. If people have questions, happy to stay on and keep answering questions. But if you've got questions, feel free to drop them in the chat here, and we'll answer them. And if we've got questions from before, I'll have my team direct message me on those. We'll make sure we get those collected. Doug asked, what is the software to edit video? So there's a couple of different things within the course. Grant, I believe it's Filmora. Is that right?
Yeah. So we use Filmora. It was something that whether you're a Windows PC or a Mac, we can all use. So again, we can get everyone on the same page following a proven blueprint. That's why we chose Filmora. Yeah.
And Grant, you guys in the course, you actually have like a literal behind the scenes editing tutorial for every single one of the video recipes. That's part of it.
Because this was something that I always wanted when I was looking for solutions. Because whenever I watch videos, I don't know about anyone out here, but I'm always like, okay, how are they filming that? Where's the camera? Where's the lights? How is it set up? And so it requires an investment to basically have an agent film the video and then have another videographer film the agent filming the video, so that the person learning how to do video gets a full perspective on how this is done, so you can clearly understand what to do and then go do it. Because we didn't go to school for video.
Yep.
None of us did, usually, except maybe some realtors, but most of us didn't. And so we're trying to learn this skill. And to us, that was an important part, to see how something is filmed.
And is Filmora software included in the package, or is that something that agents purchase access to separately?
Agents will purchase that separately. It's the most affordable.
Yeah.
When you look at your first entry points of video editing software, it's not like super expensive like Adobe Premiere and Adobe whatever. It's I think $90, $99 for the year or something.
Yeah, it's pretty definitely accessible. Tiffany, I saw your question about, should you target your niche market or listings buyers exclusively, or just local community in general? So this, I think I'm going to field this one, Tiffany. I think this is going to depend a little bit. You're going to want to have kind of a spread here, and I'll give you an example. You want to be known as the expert for the community that you are serving. And so that is going to mean you're going to want more general video, like for instance, the videos talking about the best local parks in your community, that's going to be something that's going to be something broad. It's going to serve your entire market or even region. But you're also going to have benefit from creating really niche down specific videos for, say, a particular neighborhood or for a particular side of town or a particular type of listing. I'll give you an example. I can't tell you how many times, how many leads I've gotten from a specific video set that just focused on condos in a 1 mile stretch in my local market, because there's tons of these condos. They were really popular for vacation properties. These were things people were getting all the time, or getting inquiries all the time, but nobody had specific media about them. So I made a video, the 5 things you got to know about buying a condo on, we called it the Golden Mile in my local market. There's literally 1,000 condo units in this 1 mile stretch, and we have a pretty small market relative to big places. We're still getting leads every week from this set of video content. So it's going to vary. There's going to be different opportunities in different places, and the video recipes in the course really give you a broad swath, whether they are kind of these bigger, broader ones or niched down ones. And frankly, if you decide the course isn't for you and you want to go in your own direction, just take that advice. Take the 10 videos that we gave you. There's a good selection in those 10 videos that will give you that span of really specific versus niche down, or versus scaled out to your market. Okay. One other question I got in a DM here. What's the best platform? Where should I be posting my videos? Is that what it said? Yeah. So what's the best place to be posting videos? Is it YouTube? Is it Facebook? Is it TikTok or Instagram? And granted, I'd love to hear your feedback on this, but for me, I think that you first have to ask yourself, where is your audience active? Is your audience spending their time on TikTok? Like, do you have a young audience, maybe a lot of first-time home buyers, where you know this is where they're spending their time and they're following you there? Or do you have more of a 50s, 40s, 50s, and 60s, we're selling the family home sort of client base? Those folks are most often active on places like Facebook. Posting video just kind of arbitrarily is going to lessen the effect of the hard work you've done to make your content. You got to post it where your audience is active. Grant, any thoughts on that?
Yeah. If I had to pick one platform, I would say YouTube. The reason being is it's a search engine. So the value that you get for the effort that you put in, videos on YouTube are there forever to be searched and found. When you post anything on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, it goes away within minutes, hours, or days. And so you don't get as much value for the effort. However, the main blueprint is to make video for YouTube. Therefore, it's found forever. And then you're posting it on Facebook and LinkedIn because you got to post it somewhere. And then you're going to find people who like, comment, share that you can then DM. Because the other thing is you post content on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram so that you can DM on those platforms. You can't DM on YouTube. But before people get into making content for YouTube and then repurposing it and making it, in all different ways, shapes, and forms for all these platforms, make a video for YouTube, post it on the big 3, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and then DM people on that platform to start conversations, build relationships, and get clients.
That's great advice. That's great advice. Tiffany asks, what would like to know your opinions on sold posts. And Tiffany, I assume what you mean here is a little video kind of highlighting a success, like, hey, I just sold this property. I could sell yours too. I think that there is a line that is realtors should get close to, but not cross, when it comes to gloating about success. That is often how realtors who cross that line start to appear. My thoughts on this are, those sold posts are best when they can communicate value to your target audience. So for instance, if you have a sold post that you really, the message is, look what I did. This is something I can do for you because I know you're looking for this service too. That seems really valuable to me. But if you don't have a specific outcome in mind, then that gets a little challenging. Guys, we're running up a little bit on time here. I want to be sensitive to everybody's time, but I did want to answer one other question here from Dennis, and maybe Grant, you can help me with this one. What's the best way to promote video? Should we be adding hashtags or meta tags? Does it depend on format? Any kind of quick advice on that for folks who are wanting to kind of optimize their promotion here?
Yeah. Whenever a lot of times people ask questions, the best way to answer it is to first think about the goal. The goal of promotion is to get people to like, comment, and share so that you can DM them after. Because you can't control the algorithms for reach and views, and it just, it's always changing. But you can definitely write a post to get more people to like, comment, and share, because you can ask people in the post to comment and the likes will just come. Comment on blah, 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 depending on the video. And so the best way to promote a video is that formula. You got a hook, you got a story, and the call to action is to get people to engage with the post so that you can then engage them thereafter.
Agreed.
It's not like meta tags and that stuff helps with the platforms putting it out there and reach and views. But the main thing is to hook them in, make sure that they understand why this video is for them, and to give them one call to action so that you can find the people who this post was for and engage them thereafter.
Yeah, I agree. I agree completely. Guys, I think that's going to do it for time right now. But as our team mentioned in the chat here, you can get all of your questions answered one-on-one when you book a demo with the Parkbench local leader video marketing mastery team. Just so you know, in case this wasn't totally clear, there's no obligation. If you want to book a demo, ask some questions, look under the hood a little bit, go for it. That is totally free, no obligation there. Also, check out the article we wrote on the close. We've got a full review, objective analysis. Not being paid for any kind of particular view. We want to hear a little bit about, or we want you guys to be able to hear our experiences as we're walking through the product for the first time. So go over, check out the article on the close, book your demo with the Parkbench team, and make sure to watch your email for any follow-up stuff. I want to make sure you guys get the resources from this webinar as well. Grant, thank you so much for hosting with me today. It's been a pleasure. Guys, thanks so much for coming. Hope you're having a fantastic rest of your Thursday.
Thanks, everyone. Get started with video. Get started. Get started.
We'll see you soon.